Hi, I'm Ryan, and this is Carson, and we're doing the third quarter 8th grade broadcast.
Alright, hello, I'm Jaden, and I'm here with Kaden, and we're finishing up the third quarter 8th grade broadcast. Enjoy.
Okay, next up, we have an interview of the school nurse about the flu season.
Hello, my name is Jaden Bressler, and I'm here with...
Mrs. Walton, the school nurse.
And I will be interviewing her about sickness. Okay, so, what do you think about sickness this year?
I think this year was pretty much like every other year. In the winter, we see more colds, flus, strep throat. It's been about average.
You pretty much just answered my second question. How did it change from the past years?
It seems to be about the same every year. A couple years ago when H1N1, the influenza virus, was in the community, we had a lot more kids out. But I think this year has been about average.
Which is worse, the elementary or the high
That's a
school?
good question. Boy, I think it goes back and forth. It seems like one day I'll have more high school kids going home and the next day it'll be elementary. So I think it's about even, believe it or not.
Do you think that because we're a small school, like the sicknesses are more contagious, like we catch them more than what other schools do?
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that being in the wintertime, when we're all inside and we can't get our windows open and air out our houses and we're around each other more instead of being outside, we tend to be sicker in the winter because of that. But no, I don't think being a rural community has anything to do with making us sicker.
What can we do to prevent sickness?
That's a very good question. Good hand washing. Hand washing, cover your mouth. You know, when you sneeze or cough, you don't want to sneeze into your hands because then when you shake someone's hand, you pass the germ. So you want to cough into your arm. And if you're sick with a fever, you want to stay home so you don't spread it to everybody else.
All right, thank you.
Hello, my name is Elijah Alexander, and I had the opportunity to interview Mrs. Becker about how sickness affects classwork. In what way does sickness affect your students?
Well, they obviously get far behind, and like last Friday, we had quite a few kids out, and the ones of you that were still here were all laying across your deck sick.
Does it affect their grades?
It can if they don't make up their work.
And do you think some students fake it to get out of class, or do you think they're actually sick?
Every once in a while, there's a kid that does that, but they usually have a good reason.
All right, thank you.
You're
Have a good day.
Thanks for those sick interviews.
Up next is an interview with the school board about the activity period.
I'm Kennedy, here to interview Mr. Stout on some proposed changes to the high school schedule next year. So Mr. Stout, what are some of these changes?
Well, next year's schedule is going to look slightly different than what it does this year. We're not really going to notice any difference in terms of the times that the classes are. There's really, I guess, two main changes in the day. One is the fact that there's only going to be 2 lunch periods next year as opposed to the 3 that we operate this year. So ideally there'll be a lunch for 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students, and then we'll have another lunch for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students. And then the second change is we're going to have, not sure what the name of it's going to be, but it's like an activity period that we're going to have. It's a 30-minute period after the lunches are over.
Okay, and who do you think will be impacted the most by this activities period?
Well, the activity period is really going to impact everybody. One of the reasons behind having a period like that is so teachers can focus more on remediation and acceleration during the day. Right now, our junior high students get that at the end of their day, 9th period. Our senior high students do not. So it's going to be nice for senior high teachers to be able to meet with the kids and provide some remediation, getting them ready for the Keystone exams. It's also going to be a time when clubs and different activities can meet. That way it doesn't disrupt the day, because right now we have, it seems like every day we're having a meeting first period, we're having a meeting 9th period. Now we're going to have one set time where it's not really interrupting the rest of the academic day.
Okay, thanks Mr. Stout.
Thanks, Kennedy.
And now I'm here with Zoe to get her opinions on the subject. How do you feel about an activities period being introduced into your school day?
I'm really excited for my senior year next year. I think that with all the things that I'm involved in, having that time would be really great.
Okay, thank you. Finally, I'm here with Mr. Brazella to get a teacher perspective. So, Mr. Brazella, what are your thoughts on an activities period being introduced into the high school schedule next year?
I've actually been a proponent of this for a long time. I think a period free of all classes in the middle of the day can serve a bunch of different purposes. Number one, I know how other teachers feel when kids are yanked out of class for things like, I don't know, football sign-ups. I think, it irritates the teachers because they have to then catch the kids up when they come back. But now you can do all this in the middle of the day. And actually, colleges have this. It's called Common Hour. And there's an hour in the middle of the day in a college day where no classes are available and students can go and do certain things like this. But that's one of the possibilities. The other are the activities that teachers can provide, like the clubs.
Thanks for the activity interview.
Up next, we got PCs versus console. Personally, PC's so much better.
Nah, console is.
Well, let's see what they say.
Hi Kelly, thank you for letting us interview you. Now, we have a couple questions about PCs versus consoles. First of all, which of them do you play the most?
I'd have to say PC. I don't really play the console much more.
Okay. Which do you prefer?
Well, as in my previous answer, I think it's obvious, the PC.
Okay, now what makes it better?
Well, you have a lot more gigabyte storage, so you can get a lot more games on it. And most games run better and have more options in them.
Thank you. Hi Kevin, thanks for letting us interview you. Now, we have a few questions about PCs versus consoles. First of all, which do you play the most?
I play console games.
Okay. Which do you prefer?
I prefer console over PC.
Okay, now what makes the console better than the PC?
In my opinion, I can use the controller better than on the keyboard. So I just think I better play console over PC.
Okay, thank you. Yep, you're welcome. Hi Noah, thanks for letting us interview you.
Hi.
Okay, now we're going to interview you about a couple questions about PCs versus consoles.
Alright.
Okay, now first of all, which do you play the most?
PC.
Okay. Which do you prefer, consoles or PC?
PC.
Okay. Now what makes the PC better than the consoles?
Well, there's a lot of survival games on PC and it's not very many on Xbox.
I see. Thank you.
Yep.
PC.
Console.
PC.
Console.
PC.
Console.
Oh, wait. Up next, questions to the broadcast.
So today I'm here with Alyssa, and we were wondering, do you think it's more often to be bit by a shark or bitten in New York?
New York.
Why do you think it's more common to be bitten in New York?
It's more common because you can get bitten by your enemy and you might not want to go swimming in the ocean.
Thank you for letting us interview you. I'm here with Haley, and Haley, we were wondering if it's more common to be bitten in New York or bitten by a shark?
Bitten in New York.
Why do you think it's more common to be bitten in New York?
Because you don't get bitten by a shark that much.
Hello, I am Mackenzie Englehart here with my sister Ellie Englehart. Is it more common to get bitten by a shark in New York or bitten by someone else?
Bitten by a shark in New York.
Why?
Because there's so many sharks that are in the world that can bite you if you went surfing.
Okay, thank you.
Man, time sure does fly.
Next up, we got graduation through the years.
Hello guys, it's Iris, and I'm here with Aiden. We're going to be asking a few questions. So Aiden, how does it feel going into middle school?
A little bit nervous. There's more teachers, and it's completely different than what I have right now.
And what is your favorite memory in your school career?
My favorite memory was when we still had recess. It's been about an entire school year since I've had recess, and 5th grade is the last year you get it, so it's hard.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a good day. Hello guys, I'm Iris with Mallory, and we're going to be asking a few questions. So Mallory, how did it feel to move up to junior high?
It was pretty exciting because I know there's a lot more opportunities in the junior high and high school.
And what was your best memory in your school career?
Well, this year I actually made September Student of the Month, so that was pretty exciting.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.
Hi, it's Caden with Morgan here, and we're going to interview her on her high school career. So, how does it feel to be going into the real world in about a year?
It's a little scary. There's a lot more responsibility to go out, kind of, and do your own thing. But it's exciting. It's exciting to kind of get out there and have your own freedom and do what you want to do with your life.
Okay, so what was your best memory in high school or elementary?
Probably my best memory would be anything with my friends. They were the ones that kind of helped me through high school and made it really fun. Different extracurricular activities I did, like virtuoso and tennis, that always had people that I loved in them. So that would probably be the best thing about high school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the 8th grade broadcast.
Make sure you tune in for the next one.